Hi, I'm Sean Lean. I'm the President of the Legislative Council in the Victorian Parliament, and I'm here to give an update of this week's sitting. This week, three pieces of legislation passed this House. The Service Victoria Amendment Bill 2023, which enhances the capacity of Service Victoria to act as a central point of access for end-to-end government services by enabling more government services to be provided online. The Regulatory Legislation Amendment Reform Bill, which make changes to several acts to reform regulatory legislation in various areas. And the third bill was the Building Legislation Amendment Domestic Building Insurance New Offences Bill, which creates offences for builders who demand payment for building works that are not covered by insurance, and also allows investigation, exercise of enforcement powers and commencement of proceedings in relation to some breaches of Domestic Building Contracts Act 1995. Other items that were debated in this House, other than legislation, were items around supermarket food costs, pill testing, Victorian energy transmission, and also calls for documents pertaining to the medically supervised injection room. Another item that happened in this House was Mr. Richard Welch made his first speech in Parliament. We call it an inaugural speech. Mr. Welch was sworn in last sitting week. He made his first speech in this chamber and did a great job in highlighting people important to him and what his aspirations he has in the time that he's going to be a Member of Parliament. We also had a visit to this chamber from a group of speakers and MPs from Sabah, Malaysia, who came to see how our Parliament operates and share also great insights on how their Parliament also operates. As always, as I say, there's a lot of events around the building outside the two chambers, and I'll just touch on two great events that happened this week. On Wednesday morning, the Speaker hosted a breakfast to celebrate the important work of Lifeline. Members were joined by staff and volunteers of Lifeline to learn more about the community services they provide, including counselling, community training, bereavement groups and disaster recovery. Many people volunteer for Lifeline, and one of the privileges of being a Member of Parliament is you get to meet really good people who are prepared to volunteer to do really good things. And speaking of good people and good things, Women's Health Network had a showcase in Queen's Hall all sitting week. On Wednesday lunchtime, they held an event for MPs to hear about the challenges faced by women concerning their health and wellbeing and the practical actions being taken by the health networks. And it was a great pleasure to have the Women's Health Networks in our Queen's Hall all this week. Next sitting week, the following bills were introduced for debate. The Education Training Reform Amendment Early Childhood Employment Powers Bill 2024, Firearms Control of Weapons Machetes Amendment Bill 2024, and the Climate Change Energy Legislation Amendment Renewable Energies and Storage Targets Bill 2023. And those bills will be debated next sitting week, and I will give you an update about how those bills travel through this House and other items at the end of that week.